Hello, good evening, everyone. So nice to see you this Thursday evening. And tonight you are in for a special surprise. This is our 33rd Pearl of Wisdom. And this Pearl of Wisdom is special in the word special. Mynoo tonight will lead us through these 7 discoveries about special and what it means to be special. What does that make available to us? What does it open up? And what new possibilities emerge as a result? So what's going to be exciting tonight is how one can leverage these discoveries in different areas of our lives. And Mynoo Maryel always shares her unique perspective and fresh insights, and tonight will be another delicious surprise. She will also reveal how you can utilize these discoveries to turn around something that you see as a breakdown and see that it's really a breakthrough with ease, grace, and joy. And that's going to be true in every area of our life. So it's a very special Pearl of Wisdom tonight, as she says, for that special effect. If you can imagine that iridescent shine that reverberates as a pearl, well, that's what you're in for tonight. So get ready to uncover something that perhaps you never imagined possible. And we'll be going on this little treasure hunt together tonight. So welcome to everyone. We are going to be streaming live here on Facebook as well as our Zoom family. So I'll be letting our guests in just a few minutes on Zoom. But the beauty of Facebook Live is that you can watch this over and over again. And I know that is really important because it's hard to take all these notes. It's such profound information that Mynoo shares with us. So if you're like me, I like to listen a few times over. And this 33rd Pearl of Wisdom, as Mynoo said, it's like the ooh la la. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I think it's one of her favorites. So again, these 7 discoveries about special and what makes something special. And then what does that make available to us? What does it open up? And what new possibilities emerge as a result? So you'll learn how to leverage these discoveries in different areas of your life. And Mynoo will lead us on this beautiful, amazing treasure hunt as we uncover the discoveries. I love it when we feel that we have a breakthrough, we can't see past that. And then if we look at it from a slightly different perspective, we can see that right through that is an amazing breakthrough instead of a breakdown. So I love when Mynoo can help us see that unique vantage point, that a breakdown really is an opportunity for breakthrough. So she'll be taking us on that journey tonight, and it will be quite special, which is what our 33rd Pearl of Wisdom is all about. So for those of you who are turning in tonight, we have 108 Pearls of Wisdom, and we are on our 33rd. So again, get ready for this amazing treasure hunt tonight as we just continue this journey together. Every Thursday night, you can pop on to Facebook Live or join us on Zoom. And this wisdom is so profound, second to none. And often Mynoo is getting this information in as she's speaking to us. So yes, hot off the press, so to speak. And I know I'm excited, can't wait. 5:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern time every Thursday night. So all of you, thank you for coming. Cannot wait to spend this evening with you. And here is beautiful Mynoo Maryel, which I am so excited to delve into this 33rd Pearl of Wisdom.
Yes, Catherine, me too. I'm excited about that. Like I said, it's like the ooh la la of the pearls of wisdom. So yes, looking forward to sharing what I have discovered.
I love when you speak about the breakdown and how that can be looked at as a breakthrough, and especially with ease, grace, and joy, which when you're in the middle of that breakdown, it feels like it's a breakdown. It's hard to see anything other than that. So this whole idea of special is going to be special tonight to put another tool in our toolbox. So very excited, and welcome to everyone who I have just come in from the Zoom family. Thank you guys for joining tonight. We are on our 33rd Pearl of Wisdom, which tonight is special. So, yes, we've got a full house tonight. And Mynoo, I guess it's time to get started. We're right at 5:30.
Great. Thank you, Catherine. And welcome, everyone. I'm looking forward to sharing this particular one. Like I said, my message to Catherine was, it's got an ooh la la vibe about it. This particular one, and I really liked the the wording of 7 discoveries about special. So let's get going with this wonderful treasure hunt. When we go into this cave and we start the treasure hunt, what I found for myself, I landed in discovering that actually this is my cave. And all these treasures I have found are mine. They always have been. And therefore, there is no need to amass anything. It already exists. And it literally was something that took all forms of lack away or panic or anxiousness to grab as much as I can. It literally took me into a space of knowing that everything was already always there. It was all that was not having it come to me was my lack of ownership, that I'm the one that all of this was there waiting for. And now that I connected to myself as special, I can, make this cave my home, or I can know that it exists. It's like literally in my backyard if I want to go in. And that's what this, the discovery of the 7 discoveries of special enabled for me. So let's look at the first one. The first discovery about special is that it has, the title is Surprises That Surprise and Delight. So for me, and many of you who've done my work, a deeper work, and even those of you who've been participating for a while, you already know that for me, I often say, your world begins with you and it ends with you. And there are many players, including a whole collection of living beings that come together as you go about your journey experiencing your world. But you are the creator of your world at all times. It literally, you can say, okay, my world begins with me from the time that I took my first breath, and it will end with me when I take my last breath. And you can look at it in that expanse, or you can become even more nuanced about it and know that your world begins with you and ends with you in every moment. And it is a collection of moments that creates your experience. So when I connected to this first discovery of surprises that surprise and delight. So surprises is one thing, which in itself can be quite adventurous, but not all of them, delight. And they can be shocking. The thing about the discovery about special is it has a quality of surprises that surprise and delight. Now, here's the thing. When I'm talking about the discoveries of a pearl of wisdom, the quality of a word that becomes a pearl of wisdom is that all the different facets of this word enable us to create a world that works for everyone, including ourselves. So when we give anything the label of this is special, you are special, or I am special, one of the discoveries is it has surprises that surprise and delight. So let's not rush into giving the prowess of the vibration of the word special, to just anything. You are special. Absolutely. Because if you just look back at your life, I always say, In all of these pearls of wisdom, I give you practical ways in which you can work with that particular pearl. And a lot of the ways are about you going within and discovering in a deeper way what's going on with you. So given that you are special, that's a given. Go just rediscover yourself and look at what aspects of you, in terms of your personality, in terms of the experiences you have amassed, in terms of, everything that makes up your identity as you see it, surprise and delight you and others. Look at what you believe about yourself that surprises and delights others or you. And look and examine what feedback have you received from others over the years. Words that they have said, things that they have shared that you might have done for them or caused for them that surprised and delight them. They may not have used the words of surprise and delight, but just look at the feedback you've received. And, go back and relook at, are there any new insights you're receiving in just looking at what others have shared about you that has surprised and delighted them? And see if there are some more surprises and delights that you rediscover about yourself. Remember, the power lies in acknowledgement. When you acknowledge this in yourself, you are anchoring it in your reality. It already exists. You just haven't brought it into your conscious awareness. In everything that I do, I always say, take your mind along. How do you take your mind along? Here, what we are doing here is, and we are doing this with every pearl of wisdom, we literally go deep within, unearth stuff, and here we are really on a discovery quest. We go in and we discover within ourselves and bring it into a conscious awareness. That acknowledgement takes the mind along. And what happens is, any propensity that your mind may have, about getting that little voice in your head to deplete your confidence or create self-doubt, it starts to quieten away. Not because you're asking it to shut up. It recognizes there is something special about you. And there is a collection of stuff that surprises and delights. Not just you, but others. Now, once you've done this with yourself, you just look at the expanse of your life and look at in that expanse of your life, where have you allocated this label of special? Are there people that you think that are special? Like, I certainly thought about that about my mother. I think about that, about my son, about my sisters. And using this lens of this discovery lens of what about them surprises and delights was such a phenomenal exercise to recognize that, wow, I do have people in my life that have been such a huge gift for me. And they keep coming. And it wasn't just my family. It literally started, it's as if there was another curtain that was there. When I started looking at some specific people, it's as if that curtain got drawn and I saw a whole cast of characters that have enriched my life, that are special. And from time to time, I have given them that label, but I've moved on. So I sort of lost the connection to that special gifts of connectedness that I have experienced in my life. So just doing this one, treasure hunt discovery adventure connected me to so many people and the specialities of each one of them. So this first discovery really gives you what is the speciality of that which you decide to label as special. And then I move from people to places. I've had the fortune of visiting some amazing places and also actually living there. Living in many places for extended periods of time. And I'm very present to everything is energy, everything is a vibration. And there's an energy to a place, there's an energy to your home, there's an energy to the town that you live in, to the country that you are present in, to the continent. And suddenly my treasure chest was really brimming with, it was full of these amazing gems and jewels that surprised and delighted. And you know what it did? It's as if another treasure trove started being built. Because this is surprise and delight. The collection of these delectable delights started amassing my treasure trove of actions that gave me joy, experiences that filled me with joy and wonder. And you know what that led to? It led to a knowing that happiness, because in my world, happiness is nothing but a decision. It's a decision you make. And once you made the decision of happiness, joy is the action you seek. So what it opened up for me is I have a whole treasure chest of actions and experiences that give me joy. So happiness is a given. I don't even have to think about that decision again. And it all began with going on this discovery quest, uncovering the first discovery of special, which is its surprises and delights. And in this discovery process, you are becoming very precise, where it's grounded in reality. And you are literally going into your subconscious, and as the subconscious gets activated, your unconscious also comes into your conscious awareness, and you start really seeing surprises that delight you within yourself and with others, and in particular projects. What it did for me also is it got me to understand that my time is never wasted. Never wasted. Even those projects that I had begun that I no longer carry on with just because of situations or circumstances, it wasn't a waste of time. I mean, there have been times where people say, oh, what a waste of life that was. Well, nothing is. When you go into this discovery quest of this special pearl of wisdom, focusing just on the first discovery quest, surprises that surprise and delight, you will find nothing occurs in vain. Nothing. However difficult or tough or challenging a situation may be, when you are on this discovery quest, looking for surprises and delights, you start finding these treasures of wisdom, of insights, of nuggets that you hadn't even realized existed. And that in itself gets you to understand that any breakdown that occurs in your life, it is, it's literally, it only occurs because you're on a verge of a massive breakthrough. The bigger the breakdown, the bigger the breakthrough you're on the verge of. And there is something that will spark that transformation into a breakthrough. And we're going to talk about more of these pearls of wisdom. So, you will see what else sparks that breakthrough. But one of the questions I get my entrepreneurs that I work with who are in our business collective called the Federation 100, I often say, when you experience a breakdown, the question to ask is, what is missing and essential that I can put in place for myself right now to experience a breakthrough? Having this collection of surprises that surprise and delight that you have examined, you'll find so many pieces that already are anchored in your field. You already have a cellular memory of that you can pick and choose and put in place and experience a breakthrough in that moment. So the first thing is go into the discovery of this first aspect, surprises that surprise and delight, by examining yourself, your life. Then look at your very close connections and see others that open up when you're going into that discovery, to see the people that you have given the label of special. What about them surprises and delights you? What is it that they have said to you that delights and surprises them? Look at projects, look at places, look at happenings, look at incidents with the same question. That was especially uncomfortable. All right, let's do a deep dive into that. What about that surprised and delighted us? You'll be, yes, there might have been lots of things that surprised you or took you off guard. And within that experience that may not have been that great, you will find the fact that you have survived it and you've moved forward, there would have been something that kept your spark going. What's that surprise and delight element that was hidden in that experience? And from that will come this nugget of insight that becomes a part of your repertoire of wisdom. What I found with each of these discovery processes is when you go in and do this, you literally go through that cycle from data to information to knowledge to wisdom to a knowing very, very fast. And you're starting to build that expertise within you, and you can apply it to anything. So let's look at the second discovery of this pearl of wisdom. And the second discovery is that anything that we classify as special, it presents us. It's like it gives us a present, a gift of presence, presencing our presence on purpose. This is a really big one. We run away from this. The thing that we are the most concerned about is truly being present to presencing our own presence. And doing that on purpose, can take a lifetime sometimes. And something that is classified as special actually gives you the present of presencing presence on purpose. So you become very conscious. When you do something on purpose, you're very conscious of it. You're very intentional about it too. Becoming conscious and intentional about your own presence, and actually becoming conscious and intentional about presencing your presence, is quite something. And when anything that is special, it has this quality automatically. And it gives you that gift of taking on presencing presence with purpose. Now, the first person you presence is your own presence. But what it also does is, like I said, you are special. I am special. You know, when you show up recognizing yourself as special, in the first discovery quest, you already would have discovered the surprises that surprise and delight you about you. You know, so you'll be already quite connected to the fullness of your grandeur and your greatness. So when you step forward, you know, and taking that step into this second discovery quest, and you allow yourself to receive this present of presencing presence on purpose, you do that for yourself. And as you show up really present, comfortable in your presence, and doing so on purpose, it has you completely be with the people in the project, in the task that you are doing. You are completely present. What happens when you're completely present to anything? You know, you do not lose the connection to the magic of you, so you are very present. But it also means that you notice the nuance. You notice where you are to take the step forward and where you are to allow the other person to lead. It becomes a perfect dance. And what happens there is the other person starts to land in a state of comfort, presencing their own presence. And really, deep down, you know, who are we? We are a soul being having a human experience. So this gift of presencing your presence on purpose connects you to the indestructiveness, the eternalness, the resilienceness of your soul presence. And it does the same thing for another. Lack disappears, panic goes away, and you are both completely present to the magnificence of one another. This is what, you know, pets do for us. We've all experienced this from time to time. This is what sometimes happens when you just go into a forest and you're surrounded by trees. When you look at certain flowers, meadows, flowers and, you know, wild flowers in meadows completely do that for us. When you pick up that dandelion that's just ready to blow and you see these angels flying out of this wonderful dandelion blossom, it does that for us. It's that present. It literally is as if you open up the space to receive these amazing centennial beings, and your world just fills up with the magical wonder and presence of you. And it literally feels as if you've got all these amazing dancing, you know, unicorns and fairies and angels around you. Without going airy-fairy about it, you are very present, you're very grounded. And you know, that wonderful, you know, champagne, bubbly effervescence that arises is arising because you're discovering what an amazing gift it is to presence you. And when you recognize that, you don't need to beat your chest up anymore. You just show up in your regalia, and the people that you're interacting with step into theirs. The shrouds of the disguises that we put on to put on a facade, and it is in those disguises that the fractures reside. The magnificence is within is the same. Those shrouds of disguise drop away. There are no fractures. And you really are magnificent being interacting with other magnificent beings. You notice your gaze, your touch, your breath, everything becomes deeper, more fulfilling. Each one is bursting with a whole variety of experiences. When you give yourself the present or presencing your presence. And that is one of the discoveries of special. Now, if this is what becomes available to you when you look at you as special, just think about what happens when you examine these other people, these other projects, these other situations that you have given the label of special. My dog is special. Okay, what's the gift of presence with purpose that opens up when you are with your dog? When you see this dog out there in the playground running and other people reacting or responding to it, what does it open up? It's literally as if you're in this constant spring-like experience with this wonderful blossoming that you start witnessing. And it's all anchored in reality with real evidence that you have recounted. So your mind is very present, very engaged. Your heart is anchoring all of this in the now. And your inner wisdom, your gut is calm because it's being tapped in for the inner wisdom that is continuing to expand and amass the repertoire of enriching experiences as you start looking at all those things that you have labeled as special. Begin with you, though, first. I thoroughly enjoyed these discovery quests. Thoroughly enjoyed them. Each one so fulfilling, and in fact, they like layer up on one another. And the best part is, you can feel that it will like make you feel so gloated and so proud. Yes, it does all of that. And because you're so grounded and present to your own presence, there is no need to be narcissistic about it. There's no need to go around showing off. You just have to show up. That's it. And the thing about the discovery quest of this pearl of wisdom of special is that it's very active, very engaging. It literally is full spectrum: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, and environmental. Everything comes into play, and it literally is like bustling with aliveness. And you totally, in those moments, you start experiencing what it's like to really live your life and come alive. Yumminess after yumminess after yumminess starts to come in. And you're then not afraid of delving deeper into the yucky experiences. Because you will find, even especially the very tough and difficult, impactful, yucky experiences, well, they were a special milestone in our life. There were lots of surprises. They didn't delight us, but hidden in there, the fact that you've survived and you're here, there would have been sufficient things there that also delighted you to keep going. And in any case, Now that you are not blocking them out, you're purposefully, presencing your presence there, you feel stronger as a result. You start acknowledging the resilience of you. And you're doing it with conscious awareness, so your mind now knows that you don't have to panic and drop everything just because you have to survive. It knows what your capacities are, and it starts to settle. And it doesn't monkey around anymore. The third discovery quest is a very exciting one, quite an adventurous one for me when I implemented it. And the third discovery quest is evolutionary expansiveness. This is a discovery of special. It is evolutionary, and the evolution is expansive. So here, when you go on this discovery quest, I mean, you've evolved from a baby to where you are right now. That in itself is an evolutionary journey that you have been on. Now, what aspect of that journey has given you and has enabled you to feel expanded? Given that you are special, evolutionary expansiveness is oozing out of you. So what is it? What were those aspects in your journey that you would say were particular milestones in your evolutionary journey and enabled you to expand? It's all about getting consciously aware of specific moments that were expansive. So at any point in your life, if you feel crunched or confined or finding yourself really being held down or imploding under the weight of overwhelmness that you may be experiencing for whatever reason, you can dip into that shelf of your treasure trove. You can go into that part of your cave of treasures and reconnect to the evolutionary expansiveness that you have experienced. This one here, in terms of the mix, you will spend some time on yourself, but you'll spend more time on on the external factors that have come together to make up your life. And you look at what were the evolutionary expansiveness gifts, insights, nuggets that particular incidents, particular situations, particular relationships delivered to you. And you will find some that you have classified as special when none of this happened. So you know that whilst they were there, and you made them very special, they nearly are not they're not what you call as special. Unless at the time that you were in that relationship, it did bring about an evolutionary expansiveness for you, in which case you will acknowledge that, but you don't have to hold on to it. It's a very useful discovery quest, this particular one, that allows you to release anything that's unrequited. You receive the evolutionary expansiveness gifts of that particular desire that you may have had that may not have been fulfilled, but you can also release it and let it go. Because you've received the evolutionary expansiveness gift and you can return home to you and go forward from there. This particular one brought in a form of discernment for me. I became very discerning about what is it that I identify and call as special and what I don't. Evolutionary expansiveness, feeling expanded is one thing. Evolutionary is something else. The two coming together means you evolve. You literally go to a new level in your development. And in that evolution, you expand. It's a combination of those two that provides the quality that is worthy of being recognized as special. So this particular discovery quest starts to scale down and really focus in on those relationships, those experiences, those places that truly are worthy of you giving them the the acknowledgement of being special. You certainly are special. So in going into this particular quest, you are starting to really look at what aspects of you, your choices, have been evolutionary and expansive. You start noticing that you actually are a very good chooser. Even out of 10 choices, if 2 of them were evolutionary and expansive, it's a pretty big deal. So if you can have 20% that are evolutionary and expansive, and you understand what they are, you already start to develop a deeper knowing of, what makes these choices evolutionary and expansive. You can build from there. It's never too late. You can switch in the moment, but get to understand it better first. And that's the treasure that you are building with this particular quest. You will find the richness that we have each amassed in living our life, which we may never have acknowledged up to now, is so enriching to such an extent that it isn't just enriching in opening up your heart, it's actually enriching to the extent that it's evolutionary and expansive. And when you acknowledge yourself for that, you are further enriching yourself by, reclaiming your dignity, becoming the dignitarian, which is all about honoring your own worthiness. And in that space, the only thing there is to do is to honor the worthiness of others. It could be humans or other living beings. Evolutionary expansiveness does that very naturally. And that's what you discover in this particular discovery quest. The fourth one was very interesting. It's called customized calibration. So something that is special brings about a customized calibration. And when I say you are special, if you look back at different experiences you have had, let's say you went from one country to another, even if it was just as a tourist, you customized and recalibrated yourself to be able to, enjoy or be with the culture of this new place that you were in. So you already have that capability. As you went from different stages of your life, you customized yourself and calibrated yourself to, experience the belonging to your peers. You already have that ability. So when you go from one school to another, now you're going to have a different set of people that you're going to be interacting with. You automatically go and customize and calibrate yourself. So you have those qualities. So when you go in and give that label of special to someone else or something else, then look at where is this customized calibration that is taking place in the dynamic that I experience in this relationship. Is it happening on, is it doing that for me? Is it doing it for the other person? If it isn't, it's not special. It's something that you will experience. When we give the label of special to anything, it is so powered up, it's so charged that it's very easy to give our power away to that. And when we are attributing it only to something outside of us, we are literally depleting ourselves of power. What this particular discovery of special and the discovery quest that we are going into does, it keeps you very stationed in the knowing that you are the special one, and this is where you originate from. You don't give that away to anyone else. You bring them into your fold because you choose to. Because you choose to recognize the specialness about them in a very specific, measured, real way. There is something about this person that surprises and delights. You know, there is that experience you have where this person or this particular project or experience presents you with presencing yourself on purpose. It has that evolutionary expansiveness gifts that arise from it or from this relationship. And you automatically feel the joy in customizing and calibrating yourself to become a co-creator and collaborator in the coexistence that gets created as a result of us coming together. What I got from this special piece is it really got me to see the fullness of the experience that I classify as special. And the fullness of that experience is so enriching in so many ways. And that's what each of these discovery quests does. I had great fun applying these different discovery quests to different things that I had attributed as special. Just to really experience the fullness of each of these. Knowing that, if I can work with one discovery quest on one experience, I can actually work with all of them. So I just took my time, for example, in my previous marriage, which was actually quite a difficult one. It was, rich in domestic violence, so it wasn't a particularly pleasing time, and yet, I survived it, and it has continued to enrich me. So it's become a thriving experience, actually, and that came about when I started looking at it from this perspective. What surprised and delighted me about that experience? My resilience, my belief in myself, my ability to compartmentalize my life in such a way that I was able to really grow my career whilst there was a part of my life, a big part of my life, that was crumbling. And I also saw the evolutionary expansiveness where all the rubbles that had been created by the crumbling actually became, raw material for the foundation that I finally laid for the next phase of my life, opening the doorway to a beautiful relationship that I understood the nuances of And it enabled me to not bring the baggage of the past into the future. It enabled me to truly be present in the moment. I saw the strength that it gave for my relationship with my son. The parent it made me, the mother and the father, it got me to understand that I am a full female and a full male. And it's up to me to choose which aspect is to be applied at what time. And literally, in the moments that I was going through during that difficult time, it was special because I was customizing and calibrating my own reactions and responses to the different people that I was dealing with. That enabled me to move forward. It was a very special time in my life. Having had that experience and having survived it, having acknowledged all the nuggets and insights that emerged from it, basically meant as if, I had completely future-proofed the foundation on which I was building the rest of my life because of the whole collection of experiences I had. I saw that particular relationship, it made me a global citizen. It took me from India to Saudi Arabia, which made me an entrepreneur, to London, and made me an entrepreneur in London too. I saw that there was a momentum that was quite natural to me that I was able to work with when I chose to live my life with intention. And the only way for me at the time when I was going through what I was going through, to feel a sense of worthiness, the only thing that supported me was presencing my presence in the moment. Because in the moment, I didn't feel that there was anything that was controlling or commanding me. I could still feel a sense of worthiness. And that was very powerful, to be able to find the magic in the moment. So there was a cellular memory that was created. So when I was unleashed and free from the drama of that situation, the trauma didn't need to hold me down anymore. I was able to continue to multiply the magic in the moment experience and further enrich my life with the experience of positivity, whilst acknowledging that which was challenging. I didn't need to be overwhelmed or consumed by the challenges. I could manage the challenges. That training happened during those 10 years. I mean, really, I felt so special at having gone through that experience. And it was the Discovery Question special, that allowed me to uncover all of this. So you will notice for yourself, just go as far back as you can. I saw this customized calibration expertise was being built in me from a very tiny age. From the time that, I must have recognized that my mom was, doing her PhD and I was being brought up by my grandparents. I was customizing and calibrating to the life there. And it felt so wonderful. And you will find that for yourself. Each one of our lives is so rich. I mean, the one thing that this 2020 has enabled for all of us is, we didn't have the movies to go rush to or shopping malls to go to, or, go to fly away to far different places to vacation. we had to go back within ourselves. You'll find that your own life is the most exciting movie that you can play for yourself. So, work with this, go on a vacation with this pearl of wisdom and go on a discovery quest, working with each one of these. It is so much fun and so enriching. And this recognition that you have it all, the suspense, the adventure, everything. The fifth discovery quest is the ingenious ingenuity that is natural to special. And I was looking up, the meaning of ingenious and ingenuity. It really is ingenious is clever, original, and inventive. And ingenuity is the quality of being that way. So ingenious ingenuity is this natural cleverness, the originalness, the inventiveness that you have. And you have also the ability to be that way. It isn't only about doing. You can really embrace and embody and own being this clever, inventive, innovative creator of your life. You are special, so that's natural. Let's look at that for reality. What about you? What choices and decisions have you made that have that ingenious quality in them? With this discovery quest, begin with you. Because when you really get to see that you have all of this in you, you are the super special person. From that space, you look at others and look at particular projects, look at particular situations. I was at the right place at the right time, and we give a lot of power away to that. Hey, claim it first, and then you can actually add to that by looking at something that you may have given that label of special to. Ingenious ingenuity was such a fun exercise. That is what got me to realize I actually became an entrepreneur going to Saudi Arabia, where women weren't allowed to work. Well, I had to come up with something new. Before that, I had a very safe upbringing. I'm a banker's daughter. There was no business in my family at all. And yet in Saudi Arabia, that made no difference whatsoever. There were no jobs. And, I was going to be there, this amazing propeller head computer scientist, sitting at home, cooking, waiting for my husband to arrive and all, was like, okay, but I can do more than that. And, really created this amazing partnership with this fabulous Jordanian Saudi woman, and we created an institute for computer studies for women. We created a book club for English-speaking Saudi women to get our students, created a gourmet club with the leading women of each of the embassies to recruit our teachers. It was pretty amazing. Such a small thing, really small, but it actually sparked the entrepreneurial spirit in me. Ingenious ingenuity in action. And you will find situations like that in your own life. And what happens is when you start acknowledging yourself as the one that is, that has this ingenious quality, clever, inventive, innovative, you become so generous in how you recognize this in others. And and you become so genuine in that acknowledgement of others too. It transforms your presence completely. You not only feel even more special to you, you also come across that way to others because they feel special in your presence. The sixth one is it anchors aliveness. It takes away the mundane of drudgery. It brings in living out loud, living in flow, that which you call as aliveness. So when you look at yourself, what about me? What choices, what actions, what habits do I have that anchor aliveness in me? When I did this exercise, I literally went back 5 years at a time. I have a number of 5 years to go back to. So depending on how old you are, you can go 3 years at a time. And just look at that time span. What happened in those years that anchored aliveness for me? And that's great because you're just bringing all of that into your treasure trove. Remember, your treasure chest of joy actions fills up that you can dip in and out of. And in doing so, you have literally filled up your cells with access to memories that uplift your vibrations. For me, it's all about, there's no need to hope for anything. There is so much magic in reality of our life that you can literally look at what's going on right now and make an empowered choice. You don't need to hope for the best. The best already is there and has been there. It just is. So let's dip into what's real and bring it into our conscious awareness. Doing these discovery quests takes your mind along. So you don't panic about anything. These are all ways of anchoring certainties, certain in times where uncertainty is what is certain. It brings a knowing to what has already occurred so you can build with fluidity and creativity in a time where unknown is the known. And taking nothing for granted, you take it in your stride because you are special. Go on these quests. The last one, I'm very aware of the time. The last one is a very exciting one. It always is. It's called the Lotus Vantage Advantage. Now, lotus, think about a lotus. What a beautiful flower. And it grows in the filthiest of marshes. And it is undeterred. The petals are pristine, perfect. There isn't a speck on them. Even the leaves that actually sit on top of the water are absolutely perfect. So there you are. You can be in complete filth and you can have the lotus vantage. And you've had that experience already. There have been moments in your life where you have been completely as if you were in treacle. There may have been times where you got stuck, but here you are. So you weren't stuck. You really did move forward. You just didn't know that you were the lotus. So what special does is it gives you that lotus-like vantage at all times. Because you have that knowing, I am special. Nothing changes that. Nothing changes that. Never has, never will. So really own it, take it, make it your own. And do it by examining. If you want evidence of that, go to very particular points where you were in the most challenging situations and see what your lotus vantage point was there at that time, because you are here. You didn't collapse at that time. You were able to move forward. What was the lotus vantage that you missed at the time? Recognize it, acknowledge it, and get the advantage of that here and now. Go on a discovery quest because you are special. Over to you, Catherine.
Oh, what fun. Oh my goodness, Mynoo. I love how you brought forth this idea of looking at our life as, I'm going to call it an exciting blockbuster. And the idea of just going on this little vacation where we can spend time with ourselves, you know, it's just so magnificent. I just love these discovery quests, that ooh la la and then some. I guess that's what I'd like to say. I really get this idea of living out loud. How delicious. So if anyone would love to share your closing words, comments, thoughts, I would love to read those to Mynoo, but I think we are fully equipped now, Mynoo, to go on this from a different perspective and vantage point and look at our breakdowns in a new and unique way, with a little bit of excitement.
Absolutely. So much fun, Catherine. It was great.
So much fun. This reminded me of like a little mini journey into miracles, I have to say.
Yes.
I feel like we got the 1 hour version. So I'm going to read a few things for you, Mynoo, the closing words. I feel so special. Thank you. Today's session is special for me. Thank you, Asha. That is so totally beautiful. And it's so true. It's what our 33rd pole of wisdom is all about. This whole idea of, we forget how special we are. It is quite unique.
Very true.
So I know we only have just a moment or so. I see people typing away, so I'll try to read a few more of these to Mynoo. But Mynoo, oh my goodness, you know, you continue to surprise and delight and exceed our expectations and just give us so much to feel special about. And so Lee says, oh la la, or ooh la la. Have a bigger sense of oh la la or ooh la la. I love it. So enlightening. Thank you so very much, Mynoo. Absolutely, with the big heart. It is such a special moment when we get that aha and we can look at something from a completely different perspective. So ooh la la, special, Mary Catherine. Yes, that ooh la la is it's really anchoring in a new way.
Yeah, I think we're getting the joie de vivre to ease, joy, and grace with ooh la la, right?
I love it, love it, love it. And we have such a special tonight. Many, many hearts from Kathleen. Thank you all so much for coming and joining us in this delicious, delightful, extraordinary evening. And we will be right back next Thursday for our 34th Pearl of Wisdom. Thank you, Mynoo, most of all.
Namaste. Thank you.